Right. Man, we've been hitting some powerful topics, man. And the next one that we're going to be talking about today is impact, right? And impact is having a strong effect, a powerful effect on someone or something,
Yeah.
right? John Maxwell, one of the preeminent leaders. I, this is pun intended, but one of the preeminent leaders on leadership. He always talks about leadership is your ability to impact. It's your ability to influence someone to do something, right? Someone to go somewhere. And when you start talking about having an impact, there's something that you're doing, there's something that you're saying that is literally influencing behavior. And I think this is something that God really takes seriously.
Yeah.
And that's why I believe leaders and leadership is very important, because everything rises and falls on leadership. Whether you're a coach, an athletic director, a CEO, a parent, I call them the architects of the athletic experience, right? Parents, coaches, and teachers. And whoever's putting together the leadership, if you don't address this area of impact, you're setting yourself up for failure. And one of the things, I'm going to just share a quick example. I'm going to give you the mic. I think one of the most powerful compliments that you can ever get as a coach is when an athlete comes to you. Remember, we're talking about impact, right? To have this powerful influence on someone. I think one of the most powerful compliments that you can ever receive as a coach is when a player comes back to you a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years down the road and says, "Coach, thank you." Because that conversation, that time that you challenged me, that time that you spoke to me when I was going through adversity, that time that I lost a loved one, that time that I wasn't even playing and you said something to me that sparked something to me, that stuck with me.
Right.
And now it's still bearing fruit in my
Yeah.
life. I teach those things to my kids.
Yeah.
I teach those things to my coaches that I coach.
Yeah.
I think that is the most powerful compliment that you can ever get.
Absolutely.
Is the gift of impact.
Absolutely.
Right? I'd
Yep.
love to hear your thoughts, man.
Yeah, you almost, my story, when I think impact, is almost spot on like that. It's a situation with an athlete, and the impact showed up later, right? Through his dad, actually, and later through the rest of the family. So I had a situation with one of my players. This was my first few years coaching, and it's a JV kid, and I just remember at one point they were fighting for reps. They were all fighting for reps, right? And it was kind of a competition. So they all were on a very, very short leash. I tell the kid to go in. He decides to tell another kid to go in, and
So you telling this kid, "Hey man, it's your time," and kids like, "Hey man, you go in."
and I go to him, and I'm like, "Hey, like, you were supposed to go in." And his response to me was, "Well, so and so hasn't got reps in a long time, so I let him take my reps." And I just looked at him and I said, "Okay, well, he's going to take your reps for the rest of practice and for the rest of the game, and for the game, like, since you're going to do that, right?" So I didn't plan to actually sit him for the game. We just actually had a high impact game, and the guys who were playing well, and we just stuck with them, right? But he took away my drive to want to throw him in because because of that situation, right? I definitely planned on playing him, and that's
Wait, hold up. You did this during a game or during practice?
So this was during practice. The first
Okay.
it had practice, right?
Got it. Okay.
Practice. He was like, he gave his reps up,
During the
right?
practice. Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And in my
okay.
opinion, and I know kids, he just wasn't trying to practice for the rest of practice.
Yeah.
He was trying to get some plays off. But in this time when you guys are fighting for reps, fighting
Yeah,
for playing
got
time,
it.
that is not the time to do that, right?
Yeah.
So he lost reps during the game. It just so happened to where that was a tough game, so he actually didn't get any reps, right? So the lesson was learned even harder, or lesson was learned even greater. So long story short, he ended up earning his spot back, and he ended up being a starter and whatnot. And me and him ended up working together a lot more. He ended up being one of the guys that I trained, and he ended up being a guy that JV year we pulled up to varsity, right? Practice habits changed. Everything was good, right? And I just in my head was like, okay, he learned his lesson. Good. We actually win the state championship that year, right? And after we win, that kid's dad actually hosted a party for us, just for the winning the championship. So he invited the coaches over, families over, and stuff. So we're there, and this guy pulls me aside.
This is the dad now.
This is dad. Yep, pulls me aside, and we take a walk, right? And he's like, "I just want to talk to you," right? And then he pulls up the situation, and I'm thinking that he's going to talk to me like he didn't appreciate it, right, and didn't like it. But he actually praised me for it. He was like, "Josh, I don't know if you know this, but I live in an area. My kids get everything they want, and I didn't necessarily grow up like that." He kept it real with me. He was like, "I didn't grow up like that, and I'm just trying to find ways for my kids to learn serious life lessons." And he was just like, he just thanked me. He was like, "Man, this is what's going to allow my son to get better. Not just giving him what he wants." And from then on, he had me train his son. I'm now currently training his other son, and me and him have a great relationship.
That's great, man.
And it's just impact.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know what I was doing. I just was like, okay, he's got to learn this lesson.
That's great, man.
And it's paying dividends now.
That's great. It's you know, again, it's having this strong effect, right? By what you do and what you say, and it has ripple effects. And I feel like, you know, if you want to be a coach, a parent, a teacher of impact, you have to do those hard things, you know, because those are the things that, you know, are going to create growth, right? You know, I think about that Bible verse, you know, in John chapter 15, where Jesus is talking about, like, hey, if you're bearing fruit, right, like you're going to get pruned in the areas that you need to get pruned in, so that you can bear even more fruit. And so, you know, if you're going to have high impact, you know, it's one of those things where you have to have those hard conversations and do the hard things. And so, praise God, man. That's awesome, man.
And that's love, in my opinion. Like, my dad just preached this weekend about love, and love is it's pretty broad. Like, love can be me telling you about yourself, and me giving you the truth, and rather than just blowing your head up, you know. And I'm trying to get you further in life, and that's true love. Not me telling you what you want to hear and allowing you to stay in this place that is comfortable for you. No, if I truly love you, I'm gonna really love you and make sure you get better.
Yeah,
you know.
I love it, man. I love it. Impact.